Welcome back in. Well, as you guys can see, we are joined by some special guests here in the studio. We are delighted to be joined by the Lincoln High School football team out of Stockton and representing the Trojans. Let me go ahead and introduce these studs to you. We're going to start off right here at the end. We have quarterback Julian Perez. What's up, Julian?
What's up?
All right. And right next to Julian, the guy who has the cool frames on his eyes, that's senior DB Donald Sellers. What's up, Donald?
Nice to meet you.
All right. Great to meet you as well. All right. Now we're going to go over to this side. We have junior receiver David Gray. What's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Love to hear that, brother. And right next to him, the head coach, the first-year head coach of this operation, the man with the master plan, Mr. Lateef Graham.
How you doing today?
We're doing great. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this Sunday. We appreciate it. Now, you know, your first season, your inaugural season with Lincoln, your very first game, you guys go out there and put up 70 points on McNair. How does that happen that quickly with an offense that potent and electric in your very first game of the season? Can you just explain the whooping that you guys put on there in week one?
I think it really started in the spring and with the installs. Kids came in and really tried to take ownership of the offense and started with the quarterback. And I think the biggest thing for us was just making sure that they understood the ball's going to get spread around and everybody's going to have opportunity. And I think you've seen that in the first game, that everybody got a chance to touch the ball. We had 5 receivers score a touchdown. And, you know, the results showed, and I think it just kind of carried over.
I love that. Now, Julian, you were responsible for spreading the love. 5 receivers scored. You made sure everyone ate in that game.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, to be this, you know, to have the keys to this really explosive offense and to get everybody involved, what was your mentality going into the game, and how proud were you to execute that plan?
I feel like my job as a QB is just give it to whoever's open. My easiest read. Our biggest thing is can't go broke making a profit. That's our biggest mojo. So easiest read, get them the ball, and let my receivers be special.
See, I was lucky. I didn't have to wait till week 1 to see these guys in action. I got to get a little sneak peek of the new Lincoln Trojan football when you guys were up in El Dorado Hills taking on Oak Ridge. And I saw the tune-up of this offense and how explosive it is, how fun it is, how fire it is. One of the best parts of our job is we could just chill on the sidelines with these guys. The energy of your guys' sideline is a really big deal. Tell me about that, how much energy you guys have in practice, during games, and how that helps impact winning.
I just feel like in practice we just like compete with each other. So like in games, we're just a brotherhood, because all the competing we can finally just put it into one, just put it in the game, not just have to go against each other every single time.
When you get to an actual game on Friday, not that games and your opponents are easy, but with how hard you practice, is practice almost harder than game day Fridays?
Occasionally, yeah, because we're going at each other's necks. Like, you feel me? Even if we're teammates, sometimes we out there, you can hear everybody. You feel me? Emotions get high sometimes, and that's just something that we pride ourselves on. You feel me? Competing with each other, and, you know, just really, yeah.
Julian, I wanted to ask you, just with how much this coaching staff trusts you to be on the field, to be the spear of this offense that's so important, how seriously do you take that responsibility?
I take that responsibility very serious. I feel like this team could be very special, and without a leader, they're not going to be nothing. So I got to step up and be that leader for them and really just lead this team to victories, and you know, lead them in the right direction from all the clown stuff and keep them football.
Now, Coach Grimm, I want to go back to you real quick, because you have such an illustrious past.
Okay.
You had played collegiately at the highest level. You went on to the NFL with the Detroit Lions organization. And before all of that, you went to the greatest high school in the history of our country, Bear Creek High School in Stockton.
Relax.
Which happens to be my alma mater. So, you know, you have just an incredible resume all the way around from high school through professional. How has that journey been for you, and just how exciting is this opportunity for you?
This is awesome. For me, I'm at Lincoln High School, which is, to me, one of the biggest brands in high school football, right? The Ohio State, Michigans, like, they kind of put it on that level of how you do it, what you're talking about, just playing in that arena, the stadium that we play in. So for me, I'm trying to get them to understand that these moments happen fast, and they're going to go by faster than you can ever think about. So I want them to learn to play in the moment and be in the moment and try to live in that moment as long as they can. But more importantly, what you're going to take out of this is who you can get a great opportunity to find out who you are as a person in these battles, in these tough times. You know, everybody's dope in the good times, right? But you really find out your character in the bad times. You know, like I told them, I've learned more in the last 48 hours about who they are than I did the whole spring, waking up in the 6 a.m.s, doing these summer workouts. I learned who a lot of these dudes are. Now, when things are sweet, it's easy, right? But when things aren't the best, that's when you start to really find out who's true character, right? And I'm trying to get them to understand, don't be judged off of your past, be judged off of what your next move is. And that's what I'm really focusing on for us.
To learn not just from a coach, because a coach is so influential at this point in your guys' life, but from a former pro, someone who's walked the walk, can also talk the talk. Like, what are some lessons that you guys have learned from him and your coaching staff so far in just this short year so far?
You know, he treats everybody the exact same. That's what I really like about my coach. And it's never, you know, individualism. Everybody is one, you know. So that's just really what I like about what he kind of instilled within us. You know, going through that home winter with everybody, morning workouts. You know, we starting to come together as one.
That's awesome. Are there any objectives or goals that this team has that you guys would like to accomplish this season, or things that you want to set out to do?
I think our main goal as a team is to win state. We break it on it every day. We say 1, 2, 3 state, 4, 5, 6 family. So if it's a little loss early in the season, that doesn't really define us because we know we're ready to get back to work. So that's one of our main goals that we have to do. All right. Do.
Claim it. There you go. Well, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. It is the state-bound Lincoln High School football team joining us here in the studio. We thank you guys so much for spending your Sunday evening with us. Best of luck to you guys the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, here's what we have coming up next right here on Toyota Sports Extra.